This is day 1148 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. My sponsor going to be share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Yoredeh Sim Kuf Yud, Sif Kuf Ches to Sif Kuf Tes Vav. And of course we're in the middle of the Kali Svekon. Kuf Ches, right? Yeah, Kuf Ches. This is cloud. Hey, also, if you have Svekon in two bodies, in two actual chepsibs of Isser, after coming to Torah, even though it is the Torah about which is rooted in Torah, as opposed to pure Rabbanon. I mean, it's fake Rabbanon Lakula. We say, nevertheless, we go say two. We do say fake Rabbanon Lakula. The same paper, which is in there where it's cases, but Beitzer Shenoldim Mitam go something in Bela. You have an egg which was laid from a chicken, which was, we're not sure if it was Nebela or not. If it's nail, of course, it's it's also the Raisa. So the Tolino Kula, we are no, I'm wrong about that. The Kula, we are lenient. We shouldn't debate this Nebela is the Rabbanon. And because the Beitza of the Nevela is an Isser Rabbanon, not the Raisa. I forgot the Karo the Raisa, even though it's rooted in the Raisa of the Isser Nevela. It's a Beitza Guf Acher, but Tigon is Guf Acheres. So that is the Shnei Gufim. The Shnei Gufim is the mother hen and the chicken. I mean, not chicken, the egg, right? So that the but when you get to the egg, Beitzaso Ikar the Rabbanon. When you get the egg, the Ikar is the Rabbanon. That's a pretty chadash, but that's a very difficult reason to understand. And you say that just because you removed it one body, the primary so it still seems to be called the Raisa. We come near and he was likely to be Rashi Ervin. Arukh gives his own reason. The which is grounded in the Raisa. Is a time. There's only when there's some reason for it. Could go the tefillah the tumah rabbanon. So it's going to the mikvah for a tumah rabbanon. Yechmir rabbanon apasav rabbanon more stringent even in a suffix. Kechiloli zalu. The Zauzlu suffix tefillah the tumah the Raisa. So people are not going to be make light of the suffix tefillah when it's a tumah the Raisa. You shouldn't feel davar mosel because tefillah going to mikvah something which is not regulated. It's given over to the masses to take care of on their own. And now everybody knows the halacha. Shezel b'tefillah tuma the raisa zel the rabbanon. One tefillah is for the Torah, one tefillah is for the rabbanon. That's it was necessary to make a fence. But in specific questions that all Jewish people ask of a chacham, they have no clue what to do. And the chacham will make matters clear. We don't even saying which is grounded in the Raisa, which is a fascinating Arukh HaShulchan, really fascinating. It's because we expect Jews to come to Morah Raw about certain questions, even though Ikaro, since Ikaro the Rabbanon, and we expect them to come to Morah Raw, so therefore we are willing to be Mako, not be Machmir. And Sveik the Rabbanon Lakula. Whereas opposed to the thing which is Kormi Torah and Kormi Rabbanon, not Kormi Rabbanon, feels Ikadaraisa. Wait a second. But saying which is Ikaro Doraisa, we should be Machmir, only in a case where not even any Rabbanon, not just Kormi Rabbanon. A case where Ikaro Rabbanon, we should only be Machmir. In case even Kormi Doraisa, so if it's only Rabbanon, we have to be machmir only if people will not go to get a psak. People will normally go to get a psak because since they wouldn't know what to do, so then we don't have to be machmir. It's an amazing concept, okay, and it shows the koyach of a Mora Rabbi Yisrael, or rather how much responsibility he has. In brackets it says, "I prima godim osu tesh chasam shei minchas Yaakov chiluk acher." So he has a different chiluk between the cases. It says, "Kol she'anu mekilim b'savik Torah l'mad b'shum hachi avalei tzveika d'rabbanon kula." Anytime we're mako in a suffix the rice suffix the rice, Uh, it must be inside, which is the Korban Torah. Lomar Mishum Hachav Leisvek Dor Kula, and we say it's Svek Dor Kula Ha Lo Aminon. Arkan Lashon. Oh, I don't understand what he's saying. There's Arukh HaShulchan. But any maybe come on also. I don't understand what he's saying. Sefer Minchas Yaakov 80 doesn't have a sefer. He was like the Yer Kamosh Kosavnu. He likes his own shot. Ve'eno doim l'kam and yonim he's chemiru b'davar sheish l'ikam Torah. It's not like several areas where there are machmir b'davar sheish l'ikam Torah. The Bechul East time out there, they're all reasons why we would do so. Beduk. Kuf test. Cloud vav. Come means suffix. Any type of suffix. Ben second the dina. It's a suffix in halacha. Come by liv shnei such as a question with the Gemara never resolved. Ben suffix in the question in reality. Going to be kiddushin, such as by marriage and divorce. Shezorag la kiddushin baget. You toss it to the kiddushin or the get to the woman. Suffix karvla, suffix karvla. We don't know, and we don't know if it was ended up closer to him. In which case, not mekudash lemigreshes, or closer to her. In which case, she is mekudash lemigreshes. So if you have one witness who contradicts another witness, even if it's 2 and 2, half of a Tuesday this way, Tuesday that way. And we follow chazaka in all these cases. Bein lakula or bein lachumra, whether it's to be linear or whether it's to be stringent. Rak mirabana isa the raisa only mirabana might isa the raisa. Have a suffix. I mean, Rabbanan also, sorry, Rabbanan also is the Raisa. Rabbanan says also is the Raisa. We don't follow the Chazaka, and they made it into a suffix. So the same thing happens in the Rabbanan. We are lenient. Let's be chodesh. No difference in the Torah whether the two contradictory sources came simultaneously or one after the other. When the two contradictions which contradict each other, I mean the Torah also has such name, the right, so you're also not allowed to do both of them. The body sukkah because you're definitely going to do an isser. Body meaning chad gavra. That's about with one person. They shouldn't do both. About trey gavri shaper dami, but two people can do. One can go by one contradictory leniency, the other by the other contradictory leniency. That is the famous case of Shnei Shvilin to pass. If one person came to ask a question about Shnei Shvilin on behalf of two other people, and they're obviously contradictory talking for the two of them, if the matter is the Raisa, you can't do either one of them. No good. So you can't do either one of them. They're both maasim are good. It's because it's a spec of the Rabbanon and you go to lenient. Kufyud, cloud Zayin. It's not frequent we have. Actually, it's frequent earlier this morning. Anyway, Kufyud. Yeshi Shomer the Gamaman the Spila. It's figured the rice of Minator Kula. There are those who say that, according to the opinion that Speke the Raisa Minator is Kula, the Rambam, nevertheless, it's also the Raisa that if you can clarify the suffix, you have to clarify it. That is Bichodesh. Barkosam Sifut Sadik Aleph, Ein Natenu Kain, the Arukh HaShulchan does not agree with this. Ayin Sham. But Sveka Gambi Rabbanan Eino Kliyavara. Sveka also, but the Rabbanan did not require you to clarify it. Which because Rabbeinu Ramah, like the Ramah writes, which Rabbi Sham Chol Sveka the Rabbanan have a Kesafek the Oraisa. And a Sveka the Rabbanan is like a Safek the Oraisa. I guess it's Sveka the Chumrah. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, it's just like a Safi the rice Lukula. I don't know what he means. But I've got that be Rome to Shkita Mumchime, even though, but we have a principle that most people who shecht are considered to be competent shechtim. Uh, Nevertheless, Kaiman Siman Alf, we learned in your day Siman Alf, the Kol Echadika Lebruim Varinon, we didn't learn, but it's there. At any time you can clarify it, you have to clarify it. Shani also there's a mission. The Rome Adam Einam Shechtim. Because even though Rome Timid Shechita Hain, there's another contradictory Rove, which is Rove people don't shecht. Avogad the Rome Timid Shechita Mumchi Hain. Therefore, even though it's not 100% contradictory, but it's somewhat. Even though most of you who are found by shechita are assumed to be experts, nevertheless came to the Robnei Adam Eno since most of you are not experts. That's why we should clarify it. However, but any other rove, we haven't found that you have to clarify the rove. So it's fake which is mitam rove. You don't have to clarify either. But by a subject of Raisa, by one subject, is that there is no issue of whether you have to clarify or not, because the Raisa says anyway, we have to be machmir. Levara is not essential. You want to be a vara, maybe you can find a way that it won't be a subject, it'll be mutter, but not else the now by subject of right. One subject of rights, there's no point in trying to be no requirement to be a vara because you're not going to be lenient anyway. Kufid out. Klauches. Yes, you sure those who say the kosher nishar, but Gemara b'teiku. Anything with more, the Gemara remains with a teiku, which is commonly assumed to mean tishbe yana kushu subayos, that left earlier Navi, but that's not the actual translation. The actual translation is it stands, right? We don't have a resolution. But in amen, it stands. There's no resolution. Oh, my Lord, Shekmar was not resolved. The Gemara. Ein lasos means this fake fake. You can't make a fake fake of this. Dafti could trade with class fake but fake dina. Even though there are two or three fakers in a suffix of din, they're all like one suffix. And we are machmir. That's the pre-chodesh. Arukh HaShulchan says maybe in clouds on Thomas. I don't understand this at all. There are suffix of and the final now is suffix. Lama learn suffix is fake sake. Why shouldn't we use it for its fake sake? The Rif writes the issue in the Gemara where the question was whether the woman can weigh down her shawl or wrap it on a stone or on a nut. And he shall teku, and it's remains a teku. And so and Rif writes, teku to rice l'chumra rabbanan l'kula. Any teku, if it's the rice that we machmir, it's the rabbanan we can make like l'shanon. Mela came the rabbanan of the ma'aseh kubas fake the Gemara. So since we do in the suffix the rabbanan a ma'aseh or a makel in the suffix of the Gemara. It's a definite suffix. The rice of the chumra can say the rice. Now, of course, by the rice we'd have to do chumra because it's suffix the rice. Sheesh is the old suffix. Where you have another suffix to join it with, why should we make it a fake fake? In terms of a animal which has been skinned alive. He writes in some aspect of that. One. He writes in the rationale of the Rambam there came the Nivshna by Gemara since the question was solved the Gemara Zeish Od Suffolk and there's another Suffolk Havas Seiko comes to make Seiko Chenkosar Lech Mishnah Perkim B'Shchita Havas make Seiko Chaygamno. There's also he says fake Seiko Sheiksha Minyan Chalada. This is a different case of Chalada where you stick a knife under the skin when you're shechting. Havas fake Seiko it's yes it should be fake Seiko mutter. All right against the pre-Chodesh, it seems. Pre-Gadim and Torah Shlamim. And then those who say, says Arukh HaShulchan, he saw those who say that when the Ramah determines against the Beis Yosef, we can't make the Beis Yosef suffix, at least for Ashkenazim. I'm astonished at this. Varak the Yechidis Neged Rabin Bisa the Raisa Ein L'Tzav L'Safek. Only the individual opinion is that the Raisa can't make into part of the Safek. Midrabanan V'Shtas L'Chak Gam Zev a Suffolk. It's the Rabbanan and Shas Chak, then you could take a Beisoisim and say make a Suffolk. Only Rav Avadia would agree with this. Um, um, uh, the Hachi Mashum Bedin Benida Vav Me'osa Ma'asa Besa Rabbi Kavilezer Ayin Shan Rabbi Rabbanan. Also, there's a story where Rabbi Lezer probably was the case of the guy Rabbi Lezer spoke Rabbi Shas Chak, and therefore there would be a similar thing over here. Kuf Yud Beis, Cloud Test. Amoti Moment Api Space Faker. You can't extricate money from a Baldin based on Spake Faker. The came in Spake Faker having a rov, since Spake Faker is like a rov. Like a majority of the day, we hold you don't follow a rov by Mominus. Who I think is Spake Faker, it's true also by Spake Faker. After the man is feeling Spake Faker, Dif me rov. Even when it holds Spake Faker superior to rov. Come Cheskas Momen Adifa. Nevertheless, the Cheskas Momen, and Matzim Chaver Lavaraya, is superior. Achesh Lomar.
It's 6:55 a.m.
Yesh Lomar. Rov Yachol HaMuchzak Lomar Kimli Shani Mi'amut. He says, interesting, perhaps you can make a chiluk. But by a rov, we don't rov, because the muchzak, the person holding out the money, can say, Kimli Shani Mi'amut. I'm part of the minority. Which Kavnu Svara Zubichibrain, Mishra, Simon Pay Base, Ukali Migo. Like you writes elsewhere. I was fake a little shaykh, Shish mute borrow, but it's fake is not clear that there's a mute at all. So how can you say he's part of the mute? Nevertheless, we don't find anywhere that you can extricate money based on fake You should know the Chora, Miloshan, Taisis Ksubis, we'll see in language Ksubis stuff test. Yesh Lochiach, the Motzina, piece suffix, a piece fake seems to indicate that you can extricate money based on fake They wrote there, V'kosha damai mafsida ksuva. So why does she lose her ksuva? About a fake sveka, the fake svekas of the Pesuah Pesach Pesuach, Ad Kam Shana, end quote. Anam Digu Divrei Lomar, Amayim mafsida ksuva. So the came with sheyesh ksuva chashuv yikim muchzekas. So the Torah is going with the assumption that since she has a ksuva till now, or so she's like muchzekas. Raya Shein Emunoso Raka ksuva v'lo tosav. And the evidence is that the credibility there would extend only to the ksuva and not to the additional obligation of the ksuva. K'mach kasavnu, but Eben Ezer Sin Samaches. But ksuva aminu chachamim by ksuva. Actually, here we have explicitly what the issue is. Ksuva, they chachamim believed in Mishum Nehem Tiknu Ksuva because they made the ksuva, they enacted the ksuva. And they believed him when Pesach, when he says, "Yo found a Pesach Pasuach," even though there would be a sveika for her to be machzikit, the ksuva. Because he has chazaka in his favor, the person doesn't make a chasna and then lose it, and cause it to be or its benefit to be lost by compelling a divorce. But without for that chazaka, she would be motzi mama miksuba. So the muchzekas, not because it's motzi mama based on fake seka, but because she is a muchzekas in the ksuba. So shapi ikshu, and therefore they ask, because fake seka, lamar it's fake seka, the chazaka, right? Why in chazaka there's this fake seka? Whatever the sense, the answers. The bracket says, "I'm b'shmul shamsim kol chop beis because of alpi migon nischazik stark ksuba shabiyada." That he wants to say that since she has a migo, that makes the ksuva stronger. The kavachomer up is fake and certainly a fake should make it stronger. I mean, the he wants to say the issue is a bar b'shema issue. Ayin sham, ayin tzarich. We don't need this. Because it's clear, like we wrote, that she's muchzekas in the ksuva for this purpose. V'duk. Kuf Yud Gimel, Klal Yud. Everything is fake sick lachner. There's fake said to be machner. If you be Rabbana, even if it's a Rabbana issue, hochin l'chumra. We have to go be stringent. Kon isha shevia lebei such basa shuman mechela. Such a woman brings to her house meat which is a shuman and meat which is chelav. I don't know why she brought it home with her. But with suffix we are mocha kulam beyachad. She's not sure if she sold them all together. v'nitraf abasar hashum yachov, and the meat and the fat became us on account of their being swallowed together with chalev. O davar echad lo mocha, or she didn't salt something which she brought home, which is mutter. But bishla basa, she cooked the meat. Avagav the zel isad rabbanim, no dam shvish is rabbanim. The dam shvish is rabbanim. Mikol makom arei yech sofek seik lachmer. That's very to be going to be stringent. Shem malchasam klukecha. Maybe she sold them all together. The some shalom malchasam klukecha. We're going to say that she didn't salt them all together. Because she talked us know she sold them all together. Maybe it's the kosher meat that she didn't salt. Okay, so both cases are about where there's chalev. The question is which one she if she sold them all together, or she didn't salt one of them, and she cooked the meat. And even though it's Isra Baran, nevertheless it's fake lachmir. Maybe she sold them all together. And if she didn't sell them all together, she left out one, and she doesn't realize, we don't know which one it was. Maybe that was the one she didn't salt. It's also Pri Chodesh. Arukh HaShulchan evidently liked the Pri Chodesh a lot, which makes me feel bad that when I learned for Smicha, I didn't touch the Pri Chodesh. All Isur Rabbanan are similar. The time the reason is the Chiyech, the reason the rice is Shesvek Lachmir. Just like the Savi the rice, where we have to go to Chumrach. Shesvek Seika Tolim Lakel. When it's Seika Seika, we are lenient. Mishum to have a krubel heter is like a robe for heter. Chanami is Seika Rabbanan Dochim Lakel. So the said Rabbanan, which will make a Shesvek Seika Lachmir, have a krubel Isser. It's like a robe for Isser. That's from the Mishnah Melch. Kuf Yudal, Klal Yudalf. Dina kol and kosel gedolim. That previous halacha, the gedolim right. V'kam near came with the rasvare. It's logical. Avlokin shlim mikvah. So you have a problem with more mikvah. The Mishnah mikvah is parak base. The tuma kal d'rabbanan, where you have a light tuma d'rabbanan. Savik light tuma, you mean d'rabbanan. Savik taval, savik lo taval. You naturally went to the mikvah or not. If you taval, even went to the mikvah. Savik yesh d'rabbanan. So savik ein bo. So don't know the mikvah is kosher or not. Pirush Rav Sheish Tata Reusa, and there's the Rav explains that there are two strikes against him. Shem lo taba klau. Maybe go to the mikvah at all. After he did some taba, even if he did go to the mikvah, Shem ain't bar by himself. Maybe he doesn't have 40 saw. Ayin sham. Can't go to Taisus Vervin. Taisus writes in Erevin. V'zel shalom as follows: Have fake seko naga mishum the rabusa the seifa. This fake seko was mentioned because of the chiddush at the end of that case. Or even though nevertheless by a light tuma he is tar. Compared based to Yadayim. So there, Tanan. Safik and Nasa Mamalacha, Safik lo Nasa, no Nasa. You're not sure if Malacha was done. I assume we're talking about something like Paraduma water. A Safik Yeshman Kashir, Safik Emben Kashir. And then you have a Safik whether the water had a shear or not. Safik Tmeim, Safik Toherim. We have Safik Tami, Safik Tahar. I guess it's a third Safik which is in play there. Sveik on Tar, in the case of Safik and Sar, Peish Rash. That few yesh kohanach sfekas, even though all the sfekas which could be called chumrah, tahar, ayin sham. And later the rabbanan feels sfek seglachim lamir. So here we see explicitly by the rabbanan, you don't say sfek seglachim. Gam shekosavnu disim mitum le'efina. Even though it's true we wrote, they don't extrapolate from the parameters of issa from the parameters of tuma. Zebedin ter, that's by the raisa bishkol hilchos tuma hilchos agmirle, and that's because all hilchos tuma are lochel mashmi sinai. However, rabbanan. But in the Rabbanans, eat sakadaita the chol yisod rang sheish fake lachmir asur. Going to say by the principle that any isud Rabbanan when it's fake l'chumra is asur. Lo yemekin kol kach b'tumas Rabbanan. It wouldn't be so lenient by tumah Rabbanan. Vaf Rabbi Yossi, the poly mikvos shop. If Rabbi Yossi artists in mikvos, it's for different reasons. Then we tam chazaka. He artists in kind of chazaka. He got a cheskas tomei. Because we assume that the person is tomei because he was previously kampur ve'ervin sham. But on the contrary, Tanakam Yisrael the Rabbanan feel is chazik, Yisura, even if it's chazik Yisura, I feel suffix fake sveka, even if it's fake sveka lahachmir. We are meko. Yes, this yashiv is that we have to consider this carefully. But Arukh HaShulchan does go further with this, so we're going to have a big brackets coming up. I would say off the top of my head, which probably means it's wrong, but nevertheless, that the case, even though the Rav says it's like a sveka, it's really one suffix, not a suffix. Whether you went to the mikvah, didn't go to the mikvah. Whether it's if you went to the mikvah, didn't have 40 saw, you didn't go to mikvah. You went to a bath. So therefore, there's one chad suffix. Whether you went to a mikvah, you say whether you went to kosher mikvah or not, and therefore it would be one suffix. L'chumran, not two suffixes. L'chumran, suffix the rabbanon would be l'kula. I don't know if it works in the case of Yodayim. I don't know where it works in the case of case he brings from Tosfos, but in the case of Mikvos, at least I think that would work. Brackets. I mish the malu perku the Mikvos and Nadi Yehuda Tzimyon Simon Soundal she's Oru Mikozet. They got this all. They aroused them. Because they cheskas heter shel taros. They said they were aroused by the question. They said, well, it's there. It's okay because the cheskas taro, which the taros have. When they're a clown, it's not clear at all. Chos vegas ain't lona ladun raka ladavar shel safek no labo. Chos vegas we should only look at the thing which is safek arose. If in that thing there's a chazak to be let there, lo ichbas lonu b'ma yimoshech mizet. We don't care what is derived from that. I guess by cheskas iser. Bereish nida los karklau cheskas tara. Taros there is no mention of cheskas taros. Came as a suffix will be isha. The suffix is in the woman, so the cheskas tara of whatever she came into contact with is not applicable. Mikvos came in high gavra with cheskas tummy. By mikvos also the person is cheskas tummy. Lach baslam b'taro shiyum shalai deini giyoso. We don't care about the taros that will be rendered tame by his touching it, and there's no chazaka vis-a-vis the person. And evidence is Rabbi Yossi is metam between cheskas tuma and cheskas tuma. He doesn't say there's cheskas taros. We can't sustain the divrei. Mishmech chaser bosham and mishmech also in neged. The chain, the nearer ikar, the rabbanon logos u b'savek b'habes fake sveka. The rabbanon did not decree an isser not by a suffix and not by his fake sveka, which goes against what he said in the previous sif. Okay, put in brackets. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to rely on that. He wants to say here in the brackets that by his fake sveka, even the rabbanon, if it's the rabbanon by even by his fake sveka, we can go l'kula. Even his fake sveka lahachmir, go l'kula. Shengus Abishem Shara Melech. Okay. Okay. Kuftes vav. Cloud yud kim yud base. Base is suffix. With in any suffix, sheshaglaim l'davar isra eter. There's circumstantial evidence, so to speak. For isra eter, lomikei suffix not called suffix, and that includes the word bri chodesh. Kein suffix haroga b'kol vadai, so to a suffix which is habitual, but it's almost like a vadai. Lomikei suffix not called suffix. Kein davar shein motzi, also something which is not prevalent. Lomikei shav suffix, it's not taken into account to make a suffix. Kol v'sheish litlos be'aheter. Yosem, it's anything you can more reasonably assume that's from the heter than the isser. Obviously, Yosem heter from in the isser more than the heter. Hochin achar zeh. You go after what's more convincing. V'zel kinyan raglayim l'dover. She's by that's similar to raglayim l'dover. Circumstantial evidence. As if he wrote, say ne'er more. Again, the koyach of the Mora Ra, according to the way the Mora Ra sees it. Yeshut los beheter. Yoser, it's more rational, more convincing to make it linked to the heter. Or this Yoser or Isser. And we go after the roots of the Moreho Ra, Bain the Haka, Bain Hachmir, whether it's the Kula, whether it's Kumra, Bain, so the Rabbanon, whether it's Sveka, the Raisa, whether it's Safek the Rabbanon, or a Sveka in the Raisa. In other words, even though by the Rabbanon, the Chiddush is we go after El Hachmir. And by the Raisa, the Sfeik Seder the Raisa, Chiddush is, I guess even Sfeik Seder the Raisa, which is the Chumrah, we go the Kula, or Sfeik Seder, which is the Kula, go the Chumrah based on the Rus Einei HaMoreh.